Hello, this is Katrina Ariel, and this yoga video is an offering for you to help you practice at home. I'm going to take you through my maintenance practice, which is a short practice that I absolutely have to do every day, otherwise my body gets mad at me. And there's lots of ways to modify this. Please use common sense, listen to your body, and only do what's safe for you. So practice at your own risk. I'm not there to help you. But I do hope that you can find a way to utilize this practice in a way that helps you feel more grounded, stronger in yourself, and more centered so that you can approach your day and the things that are going on in the world with a little bit more peace. All right, let's get started. Sit on your mat in whatever way is best for you, so that you can settle into your body. And close your eyes, taking a deep breath to let go of all the things that your mind might be wrestling with. If the things that you're thinking about are important, they'll be there later. And if thoughts won't go away, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just don't dwell on those things. Try to focus your attention on your breath. You can imagine, if you like, that each inhale is bringing your own energy back into you. Any energy that's out there wandering around. And when you exhale, you can let go of anything that is not yours. Inhaling peace. Exhaling anything that has been weighing on you. Just letting it go for the time being. And take your hands together in front of your heart. We will start the practice with 3 ohms. And the vibration of this sound helps to ground us, to bring us more into the present, into a vibration of peace and wholeness. So exhale all your breath and take a nice deep breath in. Release your hands, open your eyes, and come to your back on your mat. Bend your knees, hands by your sides. And this is actually a physio exercise that I use to wake up my foundational core muscles. So as you're lying here, take a breath and relax first. And then think about toning your pelvic floor and your lower abdominal muscles. And it's not clenching, it's just toning, just lifting the pelvic floor on the exhale and thinking about the front of your pelvic bones coming just a tiny bit together. That's going to fire up your transverse abdominis. We're going to do opposite arm and leg out. So extend your right leg and your left arm, hi kitty cat. And then coming back in, you're dragging your heel across the ground. Right arm, left leg, dragging the heel, core strong. So the whole idea as you continue to do this movement, opposite arm and leg, is that you're moving from your core, from your pelvic floor and your foundational abdominal muscles, those deep core muscles that keep us strong and stable. Just one more on each side. And when you've done each side evenly, then we'll go into a simple twist, arms out, shoulders back, knees towards your chest. Take a nice inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale and twist to the left. I always get some good cracks with this. Inhale back to center. And exhale over to the other side. And I usually only do this for 1 or 2 breaths. Coming back to center, use your core strength. I have to push into my feet because I've got the microphone attachment. And roll to your side. Come up using your hands. And come to your hands and knees. So this is, again, another core stabilizing exercise. It's like cat-cow, and you can do cat-cow instead. This is cat-cow, if that feels good to you. I call this bird dog. I'm not the only one who uses that. So with a breath, fill up your back body. Get it really full and actually pushing into your back a little bit. So lift up. And then with your exhale, tone your abdominal muscles, bringing them in nice and strong. With the next exhale, you can extend one arm or one leg or both, opposite arm and leg again. And the whole exhale, really thinking about your navel coming towards your core, towards your spine. I like to inhale back to center. And exhale, other side. Inhale back to center. We'll do a 3 on each side. So switching sides, keep your hips and your shoulders as even as possible. Each inhale, you're filling up your back body. Exhale, toning your core. And you don't have to do the arm and leg. You can do this again, just hands and knees to tone the core. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. One more. Good. Right leg out. This is an inner thigh stretch, and I have to go really deep because I do yoga every day. Obviously, your poses might not look like mine, and that's totally fine. Whatever feels good in your body is 100% valid and a beautiful practice for you. The thing I love most about yoga is that it can adapt to everybody's situation. So as we come to the other side, just honor yourself wherever you are right now. Honor your body. Celebrate the fact that you've decided to roll out your mat today. And then come on into downward dog. All 5 fingertips press into your mat, all 4 corners of your hands. And if you'd like to bend one knee at a time, you can. Use your breath to reach into any places in your body where you find tension. right leg forward, back knee on the ground. If you need to cushion your knee, you don't have a super thick mat, you can always tuck something low and soft under there like a blanket. And so hips square, legs strong, root through your feet, and inhale your arms up. This is a nice stretch for the hip flexors and quadriceps. Exhale down. Straighten both legs, coming into a forward fold. I do take the back foot in a little bit so the stance isn't quite so wide. You can use blocks if it's hard to touch the floor. And I like to lift my front foot up to get a deeper calf stretch so that the heel is still touching but the ball of the foot comes up. Breathe. And step and switch, coming into that first lunge again. So back knee on the ground. Root through your feet, lift up with the inhale. And find the place where it feels really good. Breathe into that. Coming forward into that forward fold, step your stance where it's comfortable, and come on over your front leg. If you want to lift the ball of the foot to get a deeper stretch into your calf, go ahead. And step forward into a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen out through your spine. Exhale, bow a little deeper. If you'd like, you can interlace hands behind you and get a nice shoulder stretch here as well. Hands on your hips. Inhale up to standing and just take a moment to breathe. Let your blood pressure stabilize from being bent over. And just feel yourself. Make sure I'm still recording here. I am. Hooray, hurrah. Okay. Step your left leg back. And if it takes you more than one step, that's totally fine. Hands on your front thigh. Lift the back thigh. Scoop your tailbone to stabilize your hips and press through your feet, lifting up. Now you can stay in this position. If you'd like, you can come forward into Warrior 3. So shifting your weight. Arms out like wings, core strong, legs strong, spread your toes and fingers. I actually imagine that I've got real wings coming out from my back when I'm in this pose, and it helps me balance. So you can try that if you want. Step back into that lunge. Hugging the midline for balance, and step switch. I like to step through a squat just for a little bit extra strengthening. So set your lunge, get into a place where you're comfortable, and you're welcome to stay right here. This is a great strengthening pose. Or you can come forward for Virabhadrasana 3. Come on back into your lunge. Step back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a breath. Root down through your feet like you've got tree roots into the earth. And see if you can imagine your body coming into attunement, awareness of the earth's heartbeat. A slow, steady pulsation of our planet. Okay, step wide. Right foot turns out. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, bend your knee. So this is Warrior 2. This is a great place to work on strengthening, pressing down through the heel and the balls of your feet. I have actually been working on arms up on this, and I find that it connects me to my core a little bit more, coming into the midline. Either place is good as long as you're breathing. And straighten your front leg. Touch down for a triangle pose. And find a place where your head is happy. So traditionally you look up, but I find that my neck doesn't love it when I do that. I also find that my side gets a nice stretch. If I reach up and over, you might not need that, but it's an option. Inhaling up into Goddess Warrior, or Reverse Warrior, and come back to center, switch sides. Inhale your arms up, exhale, bend your knee, nice and deep, and find your breath, find your strength. Do whatever version of the pose feels best for you. Triangle pose. Legs are strong. Breath smooth. Stretch from your pelvis down through your feet and out through your arms and the crown of your head. If you want to take that modification with the arm up and over, feel free. And coming up, Goddess Warrior. Call on your strength. If you're not able to do this right now, you just work towards it. Coming up with an inhale, stretch both legs Both feet forward and come back to Tadasana. Nice deep breath. So we're going to add on a little bit more for strength. You'll notice that I don't do a bunch of sun salutations and vinyasas. Feel free to add those in if that's your jam, go for it. I found that after I gave birth to my children, my body no longer wanted to do those things. So I've been slowly building up my core strength for 5.5 years, and it's taken me that long to get to a point where I'm this strong. So if you're not there right now, be patient with yourself. It takes time. But I do this every single day. So even a short practice every day makes a big difference. So we're going to do some plank. Feel free to be on your knees or on your forearms if your wrists don't like the extra weight. Core strong, hugging the midline even with your arms and legs. Come to a place where you can comfortably test your strength. And come to the left side. Again, you can do this on your knee or with a foot to support, or you can come into a star shape. And we'll come over to the right side. Maintain that strength, find your balance, and if you want to lift up into a star, you can. Downward dog. Catch your breath. Deepen your breath. And one more for strength. So push-ups. Because why not, right? We want to be strong. It's very humbling. I've had to do these on my knees for a long time. But even if you're doing push-ups on your knees, if you keep your core really strong, legs and arms hugging towards each other. We're just going to do 10 today. Feel free to add more if you want. Try and keep your shoulders back. If you want, you can pause the video and do more of a workout, but we're going to go into a cool down now, doing some hip stretches, legs, and chest openers. So downward dog. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Stretching all the way back. Okay, pigeon thigh stretch, right knee forward behind your wrist. Your foot can point towards your hip. And I lengthen my left leg back so I get a more open. Your hips are still stretched square forward. Take your back foot with your left hand. Now, if your legs and hips are not interested in doing this, any thigh stretch is fine. You can lie on your side and just do a regular quadricep stretch without the pigeon form. Push your foot into your hand into your foot, and breathe. happy sounds are loud. And other side. I come through downward dog to switch. Left knee behind your left wrist. And you're not forcing your foot forward. Your foot can go back towards the hip on this one. Right foot with your right hand. And breathe. So again, any quadricep stretch that feels good is a great substitution for this. Okay, down dog. So now we'll do a forward folded pigeon, and I'm just going to show the modification first because this one is, you absolutely do not want to force your knees. So if you need to modify, you come onto your back and do a figure 4 or thread the needle. Otherwise, from downward dog, take your right knee behind your right wrist and your left foot forward if you can do that without any pain in your knee. Otherwise, the foot can be back by the hip like we did in the last stretch. You want to stay nice and square to the front. Legs are hugging the midline, and then as you stretch from your pelvis out through your legs, you can come forward and find a position that's comfortable, reasonably comfortable. Breathing into your hips. Now I walk this one over to the left. You can stay in the center if you want, but I tend to put my elbow on the ball of my foot, and nothing's changing in your legs. It's just the torso, upper body that's moving over. I find this is a really nice way to target the stretch that I need in my hips. And when you're ready, inhale back to center, press into downward dog. And other side, left leg forward. Make any adjustments that you need to, and come forward when you're ready. Use your breath to reach into your body and find whatever harmony you can, encouraging that sense of peace and well-being that we're coming to our mats to find. If you want to walk it over, you can take your elbow to the ball of the foot and stretch from your pelvis out in all directions. Inhale back to center, and obviously if you were on your back for thread the needle, you don't need to do the downward dog in between, but you can come into downward dog now for one more stretch back. Okay, one of my last poses that I always finish up with is a really nice chest opener. It's a modification of camel pose. But if your knees are not going to do that kneeling that I was just doing, you can do this same pose with your legs straight out, just reaching your arms back. So this is a great option for a chest opener. Or you can do it with a modification for camel. And the reason I modify is because I had a diastasis after my childbirth. I try to make this pose target my chest and my hips, but not my belly. So I take my hands back. I'm on fingertips. Keeping the knees, they're not touching, but knees and feet aren't going to splay out at all when we're in this pose. So nice and strong with your inhale, lift up. So again, keeping the knees towards the midline, heart extending outwards. Press through your fingertips, press down through your toes, and breathe. And the more you spread your pinky toes, the less your knees will spread apart. When you're ready, just lower your hips back down. And we'll come into a short downward dog. So it's sort of a modified forward fold. Gradually coming into a forward bend. And if a forward bend doesn't feel good for your back, you can do child's pose. And come onto your back. If there are any essential seated poses that you really want to do for yourself, feel free to pause the video and do those. I am going to wrap this right up with a little twist, the same twist that we started with, and then Shavasana. I do tend to put shoulder stand in here. I'm not going to do that in the video because if shoulder stand isn't already a part of your practice and you know how to do it safely, it's not a safe thing to learn without a teacher. So if you want to do shoulder stand, now is a great time to do that, but just make sure you can do it safely. All right, so finishing up with a twist, knees towards your chest. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center. Hug your knees towards your chest. And then stretch out for Shavasana. If you need a blanket, cover yourself up. Make sure you're warm and comfortable. Then relax. Relax your feet. Relax your legs. Relax your hips, your belly and your back. Relax your hands and your arms. Relax your shoulders and your neck. And let go of any tension in your jaw, your face. Just let the earth hold your weight. And your breath flow freely. Stay in Shavasana, bringing your this back as many times as you need to if your mind tries to wander off. I'm going to come up so I can sing you a little song, but you stay there on your back and relax. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Invite a deeper breath, slowly bringing movement back to your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Bend one knee at a time and slowly roll to your side, giving yourself a transition. You can push into your arms, come back up to seated. This is a great time for meditation or pranayama. But for this video, I'm just going to close with one Om. Please take your hands together in front of your heart. Nice deep breath in. Om. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed that and that it helps you to take care of yourself and those that you love. If you have the means and it's not a stretch for you, feel free to donate. I'll put links in the text below. If you can't, that's okay. Everybody's income's a little bit in question right now. So just pay the kindness forward in whatever way that you can. Even just being kind to yourself is huge. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon.